I'm intrigued to see after this and even during this World Cup how some of the powerhouses that are left now up their game and change things a little bit. Because if they, were thinking it was a few more years or maybe another tournament away from being the case, it's here right now. They are in the middle of a really, really shocking situation. Nick, focus on the last 16. Which matchup kind of excites us most? And I guess just have a go and look at the bracket and say who's going to advance from each of these. So do you want to take the top half of the bracket and maybe just kind of predict what's going to happen?
Sure. Look, I like Spain advancing over Switzerland. I think they overcome adversity before the tournament even started. And if they're still dealing with it, they're dealing with it really, really well. The Netherlands, I would be stunned if they were to lose to South Africa, with all due respect to South Africa. I think there's also a real danger in this tournament for teams that didn't expect to get this far and perhaps may struggle to kind of ratchet up let me find that juice to play another big boy after getting to a spot I didn't expect. So Spain versus Netherlands in the quarterfinals. We'll talk about the U.S. a lot, but bloodbath after that. Norway is sneaky good. They've been uneven at this tournament. Japan looks fantastic. So I'll take Japan there because I think Japan might win the tournament. Sweden and the U.S., let's pull that aside and save it for later, because that's another potential final that we're just seeing in the round of 16.
Yeah, we're going to be previewing that next. So, yeah, let's focus, Andy, on the bottom half of the bracket then, because I'm looking at it. I'm going to say I think England will get past Nigeria. I don't know who out of Colombia and Jamaica. Maybe Colombia, just because of the extra attacking talents they may have. But that's not going to be an easy game for either side. And yeah, what do you think about the other side of the bracket with Australia, Denmark, and France against Morocco?
Yeah, a couple of sneaky tough matchups for both sides. I think in those, like Australia obviously being the home nation, and they have used that to push them on at this tournament. But Denmark, really solid defensively and a really tough team to break down, will give them trouble. But probably Australia going through, but it's going to be close, and I think it'll be a late one as well that they'll get through. And France and Morocco, potential upset there. Like, again, we're starting to see what the way to kind of build a competitive team on the international level is in the women's game. It is be very solid defensively, don't give up a ton of chances, control possession kind of in the middle third of the field, make it a bit of an ugly game, and you can really bridge some of the talent gap that still exists there. And so that will be close. But again, I'll lean towards the favorite, because at a certain point, we need the underdogs, we need the upsets to be eliminated from the tournament so we can have the big matchups at the end of the tournament that we want. We don't want to, all due respect, we don't want to have, let's say, England versus Switzerland in the final. That's not what we want. We want England versus the U.S. or England versus... I know.
Okay, then. So talking about the final already, given all these shocks, Nick, has that changed your mind and some of the powerhouses not playing as well as they have been? Changed your mind on who you think is going to win the World Cup overall? Can we ask you for that?
Yeah, sure. Listen, I've been leaning towards the U.S., as you guys know. I picked them. I will tell you right now, such a cheating way to answer this question. If they get past Sweden without Rose Lavelle, I will be like, yeah, they're going to win the World Cup. Okay. I mean, that's how I'm going to feel. Rose Lavelle has been the straw that stirs their drink. But this Sweden match is everything to me. So, yeah, I guess I will say it has changed. And I just don't know who to select. I mean, England, to me, is one to really like. But I also feel like France is kind of due. We've seen them in tournaments just kind of show us their class. We just haven't seen them string it enough consecutively. And maybe this is the time for that.
Andy, who you go with?
It's not going to be the U.S. They're not going to, spoiler alert, they're not going to get past Sweden without Rose Lavelle. I want to pick Japan because I think they've been the best team at this tournament so far, but they're on that difficult side of the bracket. And so I look to the other side, and who can I find that I think could beat them head to head? I think England could. I think Japan's far and away the best team at this tournament, but I'm struggling to pick them to come out of that side because they have to do it 3 times to get to the final, to face an England or a France, whereas England and France just have to do it the one time. I'm going to go with Japan. They made the group stage look so incredibly easy. And at a time when everybody else was struggling. Maybe they peaked a little bit too early, but we really see how they want to play. And I think we're still kind of answering that question about some of the other kind of favorites at this tournament.
I'm going with England. I think that they have dealt with their injuries a lot better than I thought they would. They've lost basically, 3 players before the World Cup that were absolute key for them winning the Euros, and then Kira Walsh during the World Cup as well. And hopefully she comes back, but doesn't look that likely she's going to play a big part. So the fact that they've been able to do what they've done without some of those key players is great for me. And I can see the likes of Lauren James improving and just keep scoring goals throughout the tournament. So obviously I wouldn't say I'm biased. I think I'm trying my best to try and figure out, is there going to be a disappointment again? But I think that you mentioned it there, the fact that they're on the one side of the bracket where in theory it should be a lot easier by the time they get to the latter stages of the tournament. That's going to help whoever advances from that side of the bracket for the final. So head over to Pro Soccer Talk on NBCSports.com. We'll keep you updated all the latest last 16 knockout round news, how to watch information, as all eyes are on what's been an incredible Women's World Cup so far, with so many shocks, powerhouses crashing out, so many great storylines, and we'll keep you covered at PST.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. For even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you over there.